Welcome to tipping, everyone. A very exciting week of tipping. Where are we all sitting in tipping? Are we all right in the middle? Are we right at the back?
I'm literally right in the middle.
I'm literally right at the back. Out of 40,000, I'm 35,000th in the AFL world.
Do you mean 350,000?
Anyway, yes.
No, it's just double checking for real.
I got 3 tips last week and I suck.
Oh my God, I got all but Bombers.
Wow.
Congratulations, Marnie.
Thank you.
Who did, yeah.
I got 5.
Shout out to Maxiboy, who was leading ours, was 23, and then Katok, which is Caitlin, Leo, Brandon, all at the top with 23. I feel like 23 is very good because I only have 13, so they're 10 clear of me already. I have no clue how to tip, and I am awful at it. But I'm not emotionally. It's not my personality. It doesn't own me.
Yeah, you being wrong is part of your personality for sure.
Oh, God damn you. God damn you to hell. Tonight, the game of all games, the decider to whether I think that Michael Voss should go up on Saturday. It's Collingwood taking on the Carlton Blues. All reason says that Collingwood win this game, and 88% of AFL fans believe so as well, tipping them outright. 12% only tipping Carlton to do what they wanted to
do the deed.
Help me.
It's interesting because I really don't feel like it is that clear cut as the percentages would suggest. I do think Collingwood will win, but I'm going to tip Carlton because Collingwood's coming off a bye. That makes it really hard. Carlton absolutely drew a win. I still think they're a good side, so I'm going to tip Carlton.
They are the oldest side in the world this week, Collingwood. Marnie, as you said. How are you feeling about this?
Oh, it's just that Carlton is so frustrating to watch at the moment because also Carlton can start really strongly and then they just let it go where Collingwood come home really strongly.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great point. They might start, Carlton might get ahead and then Collingwood will come home as a pretty...
Oh, I like it. I hope that has narrative. I hope it's not just a bloodbath.
Yeah, and it very well could be.
I hope it's like so close, imagine.
I'm personally interested in how Beer Deluxe will be on Thursday night at about 6 o'clock and whether it'll be unbearable where I'm spending a lot of my time. By the way, they have a Vegemite loaded fries.
Yeah.
Oh my God, fuck yeah. Is it good?
Yeah, it's got bacon on it, but I'm sure you could ask for it without bacon.
The McLean's Vegemite and cheese frozen pizzas.
Yeah.
That's my comfort food. I can't have them in the house because I'll just finish them.
Vegemite ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegemite's do you know there's a place down here called Fluffy Torpedo?
Yes.
Ice cream place.
Yep.
And they have like basil and Vegemite flavored ice cream and stuff. I had buttermilk pancakes flavored ice cream the other day. Off chops.
Yeah, I want to get that.
It was very sweet.
Have you been there, Tom? You'd love it.
I've never heard of it before you mentioned it.
I'm going to take you on a date.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm tipping Pies.
Yeah, same.
I'm tipping Pies only by 6 points though. What did you tip by?
Carlton by 14.
Friday night at GMHBA Stadium. 98% of tipping Geelong.
Cast your mind back to that fateful day. 193 points.
You asking me to do that?
Yeah, because that's going to happen again.
Great. I was in New York City on my first ever overseas trip. It was like and I started to get messages back from Australia because you couldn't really listen. It was before. Not to lean into the I'm old joke, but you couldn't watch it or listen to it.
Yeah.
And I just started to get messages from people going, oh no. So I recall it happening, but I was overseas, but I felt it in New York City. You've obviously got to tip the Cats. I hope the Dees, turn up. Look at what Saints did the other week.
100.
What is Geelong's record 2-2? Isn't it? We just said this. We literally just said this. What do you think the Dees need to do to win money?
Kick some goals, I reckon.
Thoughtful and accurate. They hate Cozzy. They really hate Cozzy. He always kicks their butt.
Yeah.
So they'll be looking out for that. Geelong, what do they need to do to win, Tom?
I mean, kick more goals, I'd say.
This is the insight you come here for. This sort of.
Interesting. I feel like if your midfield shows up, you might win the midfield battle.
Well,
you got a better ruck and a better midfield group. So
I feel like our midfield clearance is the weakest thing about the D's at the moment.
It's funny because on paper,
yes,
it's extremely strong.
It's been like that for like 2 or 3 years, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah,
there's that footage of Rao this week just breaking away and doing clearance after clearance. I wonder why. It felt actually like when our backup ruck Aiden Johnson went in, that we were better at clearance because people prepare for Gawn so much now. I don't know what to do about it. But I do know what I'm going to be doing on Saturday at 1:20, watching the Gold Coast Suns take on Adelaide Crows, their first, Marnie, home game.
Oh, this is interesting.
They've only won away this year. They should have had their game in opening round, but there was a cyclone off the ocean, but it came in and became a heavy rain thing. The cyclone never hit land.
Yeah, it became I really liked all the news reporting had to say ex-cyclone.
Yeah.
Alfred.
Ex-cyclone. Yeah. 70% of people are tipping Gold Coast against Crows, which is fascinating to me because there's been so much chat about how the Crows have arrived.
Yeah, I really like the Crows.
Phil Thorpe, incredible player. Fogarty, Tex Perkins, Tex Walker is still good. Why?
So you didn't mention our favourite player, the nicest man in the world.
Ben Keys
Jeez.
with the greatest haircut. Now, Marnie, here's a challenge for you and I. I reckon there's no way that I predict that he won't tip the Suns.
We talked about it last night.
You had a chat last night?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm going to predict that you're going to tip the Crows and you're going to say that these are the moments when we fall down. We've had 2 great wins and our midfield will get trounced by theirs. And I think their forward line, I don't think our back line will do anything. Mac Andrew didn't look great last week.
Well, you warmed into it. Opposite of what I thought, actually. I genuinely feel like...
Here we go.
It's a bit rough on down the back line without Charlie Ballard. Obviously a huge loss. But they've also lost Rochelle, right? Mm-hmm. So that's their best player, easily, by
Their
miles.
best player?
Oh, yeah, he's an excitement
Okay,
gun.
well, I think Rankin might have.
I'm overstating just a little bit. But yeah, I genuinely think that if this wasn't away from home, if this was in Adelaide, I would give us 0 chance. But it's harder for the Crows to win away from home. They're not as good. And we, historically, very, very good at home. So yeah, I think the Suns will win.
You're tipping the Suns.
I am.
This is a turning. This feels like optimism.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be optimistic this year. I should have tipped them last week, but I was,
Did you tip the Dees last week?
Yeah, because we lost to Dees 12 times before. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is. I remember as the Dees got good, there was a year when we started to break all the long stats.
Yeah.
Winning at Marvel, this and that, and this might be the year for the Suns where you just eke into the 8 and you start to break all these hoodoos.
Yeah, I think we'll win, and I'm tipping us. But if Adelaide won, well, that also makes so much sense. You know what I mean? Like, they're great.
These are our texts last night. Me. Dad wants to know if you want to put a block of chocolate bet on the Suns Crows game.
Cute.
You. The problem is we'll lose. Can I bet on the Crows? So you know.
Yeah, I've turned around since then, Marnie. Now
It's a big turnaround.
Now that you've forced me into betting on the Suns, a block of Tony's chocolate, I've turned it around.
Or Tony's
I love
chocolate.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
fancy.
high end.
Dad didn't
My
know what
decision.
that was.
Yeah, I had that.
Welcome, Greg. You're a
Oh,
bit
sorry. He wants bullets.
raspberry.
Licorice bullets.
Very Adelaide.
If Crows
thing to do.
win.
Yeah,
it's nice,
I would. I
Very
wouldn't
nice.
do that. I'm going Crows.
I don't know what to do. I'll go Gold Coast just because I'm on the fence and it's their home.
Yes.
Good stuff, Marnie. Well said. Go with the home team. Saturday. This is a funny one, right? Because this weekend there's only one game at the MCG.
Yeah.
There's a game at Marvel. There's not that many games in Melbourne this weekend once the weekend kicks off. And then next week it's Gather Round and then the footy leaves Melbourne for a little bit.
You're right.
And the last game at the G for the weekend is Richmond versus Brisbane. Which is, I've seen posters around. Poor old Richmond doing a home game. They've been putting up like street flyers and trying to come down and watch a murder.
Are they going to have fun activities for children there?
Oh, there'll be activations, Tom. You should maybe take Addie down.
Yeah, because I'm home alone with him on Saturday night, so I was thinking of taking him.
Yeah, you could do an afternoon. It's a 4:15 twilight.
I mean, I'm expecting to perhaps leave within 5 minutes, but...
There'd absolutely be activations there.
Yeah, because last week with the Dees, they had, I think it was family round, so they had like mini golf and stuff.
DJ truck, you get your face painted. How funny, every time there's an activation for an outside thing, it's like, there's stuff for the kids, there's face painting. It's always like my whole life. Come down to the air show, there's stuff for the kids, there's face painting. Got balloon animals, there's face painting.
Yeah.
Everyone's always face painting. I'm going to tip Brisbane to win this game.
I think so too, but Richmond.
A curious thing I'd love to know, and I don't think we can get the answer quick enough, but is this Brisbane, how many games are Brisbane going to play at the G this year?
Great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
But I know that Giants have played it, and I know the Suns have played their only games at the G for
Port.
the year. and Port.
It's Port. Isn't it GWS and Port? His Suns also played.
No, Suns have still got a few.
Oh, okay.
so
I
it's Port
think-
and
I
GWS.
think-
My mistake.
Because they're going to Gold Coast Richmond, I think. So unless that's at Marvel.
That'd be lovely.
It could be
there.
at Marvel.
Brisbane Lions have 3 games at the G this year.
Yeah, great.
I'm a bit disappointed actually that I don't get to watch GWS on the G again until potentially finals.
They're a big sound. But they get sent to places because all the Victorian teams have their deals with places around Australia where they get their tourism money from, and everyone goes, well, obviously we'll put that game when we're not going to get attendance anyway. Why would you send Collingwood versus Melbourne to Alice Springs when you can send Melbourne versus GWS to Alice Springs? So poor old them. That's why they play in some. That's why they go to Launceston, to Alice Springs, to Darwin, to Coober Pedy, to. So everyone's going Brisbane, I imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Marvel Stadium that evening, Swans versus North.
This is a tough tip.
The Luke Parker Cup.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Swans that I found out yesterday morning.
Okay.
South Melbourne Market. Do you know there's a whole Swans store
No.
every day of the week
Oh, that's
in
cool.
South Melbourne?
There's
That's
also a dim sim place there.
That's the two things that are there. I walked into this store yesterday, the Swan store in South Melbourne. I said, "What are you doing here?" And the girl working was like, "Oh yeah, it's the Swan store."
That's great.
I was like, "Wow, why? We're in Melbourne." They're like, people come." I was like, "Where from?" And they're like, "Game days, weekends, the market." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
That was
great.
bizarre.
That's
But it's
awesome.
clearly working for them. I bought $220 worth of stuff for my mum.
Did
Fuck
you
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She goes for Carlton. No, she goes for, she goes
Good
for Sydney.
joke.
I'm going to tip, do you know, I'm going to tip North Melbourne.
I'm going to
for
tip
fun.
North as well, I think.
I'll
Yeah.
tip Sydney to be different.
Yeah.
And they're properly good, and they were coming fresh off a bye last week. Is that right?
Yeah, and Sydney are coming off their bye this week, which, you know.
Oh, yeah.
No, Sydney are coming off a bye as well.
Yeah. I know
North.
what you meant, but, you know. But yeah, I don't know if North are good enough, but Marvel, they're a vibe there.
They're a
They
vibe.
they rock the house at Marvel.
Yeah, I actually feel like I'm leaning more towards North.
Yeah, I've convinced you. This is what I do. I convinced people to
What's
tip
the
Melbourne
vibe?
over Suns last week, and they were upset with me.
I'm going to go North. Also because I love the narrative of North being a competitive side this year.
Yes.
And then NG Stadium. Giants are home. 99% are tipping them to beat the West Coast Eagles, led by Oscar Allen. I think that's pretty straightforward. I think Giants are going to just start racking up W's.
Should be
I
that.
agree.
I'm going to say, oh my goodness. After the first quarter against Hawthorn, they only scored 2 goals for 3 quarters. 2 goals.
GWS.
AFLW scored.
Yeah.
GWS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're playing in conditions.
Yeah.
Shut up about the low scoring.
Yeah, there was the wind.
I was losing my mind a little bit, yeah.
That leads to this whole discourse about the roof and the wind being a large part of that as well, apparently, with Tassie. It's 'cause
Well,
of the wind.
fair.
Sunday, 3:20 Adelaide Oval, a gather-round precursor, Port versus St Kilda. Saints were just there. They 2 weeks ago.
Were they? Did they lose
Adelaide
to Adelaide?
Crows,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
they did. Yeah.
So they had to go back again. Poor old Sainters.
This is a tough thing as well. It's like if Port don't win this, like it's proper season over if it wasn't already. Like this is a must win for Port, and I don't know if they're up for it.
Well said, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Such
a line in the
conviction.
sand moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is though. Like they've had 2 horrific losses.
They're 3 down. No, they won one.
Did they?
They beat
Yes.
beat Richmond.
Yes.
So then they could go. Yes, they. I don't know. I don't actually think
the
they
losses
should win
were
this.
brutal. No, I'm tipping Saints. I think just off Saints being up and about a bit, albeit against Richmond. But you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, the Essendon game was shocking.
Richmond play minute form maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perhaps.
I'm going Saints.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yep.
People won't like that.
I'm Saints.
care.
Saints. I'm backing them in, and if you win, you'll be in a wrap. So congrats.
Or not.
And then the last game of the round, 5:10, Optus Stadium, Freo versus Bulldogs, the garlic match. Fremantle. What's their record sitting at the moment? Where are they sitting, Tom?
They have not won a game, right?
Fremantle haven't won a game.
No, they've won one.
They've won a
lost
game.
3.
They've lost 3, and
Well, they just beat West Coast,
that's one.
and they lost the other 2. So against real opponents, they haven't won.
Rude. And they got Doggies over there. They could start to build their season now, but the Doggies, without any players, are very good.
Oh yeah, they are.
Are they
I
getting-
like the doggies.
We got so much feedback from doctors around Australia with our discussion about their 23-year-old
And I
medical
was
student.
correct.
What's their name?
Sam Davidson?
Sam Davidson. He won't be a doctor.
No, he's given it all away.
And what? And,
Broden was like, can't you do it part-time, surely?
and everyone
Silly
was
Malacca.
like, and all these doctors were like, Broden,
You don't understand
I'm
how
a doctor.
serious it is.
I'm a doctor, Broden. You can't just become a GP. You've got to specialize in GP, Broden. And I was like, calm down, doctors.
Yeah, but he could somehow go into medical science, someone was saying.
Yeah, you could go
Because
into
he's done so much work and then
Yeah,
you
right.
just probably can't practice as a surgeon or GP.
What's a
or
medical
whatever.
science do?
So I think you research like Ebola and shit.
My thesis is on Ebola and shit.
You know, you go more into the science of medicine because you've learned so much about it, and then you can go into research or whatever.
My 28,000 word thesis is on
Yeah.
Ebola and shit.
Or you might like try and cure cancer or work out a cool machine for finding, you know, cancers in feet or something.
Wow, that's so specific. Cancers in feet.
That's just the sort of things you could do in medical science.
And you can also like lead out and play the wing for Western Bulldogs, can't you? Is that where he plays?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's a winger.
Yeah.
Well, I'm tipping dogs.
Yeah, me too.
I am tipping Freya for sure. Freya, you better show up for me, Malaccas.
Yeah, I'm. This is outlandish that I've gone for them.
Yeah.
So yes, no, it's a very exciting game. I think there's going to be some blowouts. Unfortunately, I think. I don't know where they'll come from. I think they might be Thursday night. I'm so sorry, Carlton. But if not, I'd be so happy to see that. Anything else you both would like to add?
I don't think so.
If you've come to my show, I really appreciate it. The support every night has been absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I have something to add.
Yeah.
5 stars in the age.
For who?
Yeah.
For
this
you.
guy.
Oh, me.
That is
Yeah.
so cool.
I didn't realize, but I'm the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Well, yeah, because I remember when Will Anderson did his episode, he mentioned like 4.5 stars or whatever in the age.
Who? He got one.
I think so, yeah.
Well, yeah, that means I'm half a star better than Will Anderson.
I was like, whoa. Well, I just mean that it's not easy to get 5 stars.
Yeah, well, it's very nice.
Out of like 50, no.
Yeah. It was lovely. It's very nice. The show's going very well. It's a very strange little room, and I hope people come and enjoy it.
Yeah, but you're about to do that big one.
And then I go to a big room.
Yeah.
And that'll be weird. But then it'll be great too.
Are you excited to do it in a big room?
Yes, I am. It should be cool. We should do this thing that you're doing now, where our mates in the coming weeks. You want to interview me?
Yes, I do.
I think that would
I
be
have
great.
so many questions.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
That's actually scary now. This is
Every
gonna be
time
like,
you say something interesting, I jot it. Yeah.
Oh God, what have I said? I don't have to be accountable for what I've said, do I? All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching all around the world. Whether you've been in Greece or Melbourne or Adelaide or Perth, probably one of those three.
Or Bathurst.
Or Bathurst or Melbourne. Have a great week. Enjoy the footy. I hope your team wins, and we'll see you soon. Bounce that field.